Hello, thank you so much for being here today. Last week I did a video on how to play perfect bends, and we were talking about the accuracy in our bends. We were talking about the idea that when we bend on the guitar, we're starting on a note and then finishing on a specific note. So when we bend, we're reaching the pitch that we're trying to reach in that particular bend. Now, this is a really important thing, and one of our viewers actually pointed out something that they've been having difficulty with. And it leads me to say this: if you are enjoying the video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help inspire me to create more videos for you, and it helps us reach more guitar players like yourself. And if you have any questions about the video, please do drop them in the comments box below, and I will do my best to answer them. Or if I can't answer them easily over text, I'll do a video like I'm doing right now. So when we start bending, sometimes what we can do is we can have unwanted string sounds. Now, unwanted string sounds are something we can stop with our left hand and also our right hand. So I'm going to start with the left hand, and let's see what we can come away with. If you look at the guitar, we have our frets, and presuming that you're sat down, in a good position like I am, our frets go from the ceiling to the floor, or floor to ceiling, whichever way you're looking at it. But the idea is that they are vertical. This is important when we're bending, because really what we're doing is when we're bending the string is we're playing a note and our finger has to follow the fret going all the way up. That's our first little tip for getting good bend sounds. Now you can see that my finger isn't coming off to the side when I'm bending. Sometimes I see people when they're starting bending, they're bending up and they're coming away, and this is what's giving them that odd sound, okay? So try to keep them going up the fret. We're making contact with the frets. That's what we want. The second tip is to have your fingers on their tiptoes. When we're bending, what we really want to do is we don't want to have flat fingers. If you have flat fingers when you're bending, then you're likely to play strings that we're not meant to do. So have your fingers on their tiptoes. Something called left hand muting is important when we're bending. When I'm bending up, my finger is touching the next string along. If I'm on the G string, I end up touching the D string. This is what we call left hand muting. That means that when we land the bend, when we bend up like this, if I was to pick the D string now, it's muted. Okay, that's really important to get a nice bend sound. Okay. If we were to do a bigger bend, sometimes our finger does go under the strings like this. Ready? Can you see my finger's actually gone under the string? That's fine. Sometimes the strings break. That's just something to do with the guitar. But that's just one of the things we have to get used to. But in general, it should be okay if you're on kind of these low down frets and the bend isn't too big. Okay, that's fine for your fingers to go underneath. When you put your fingers underneath to do a bend, the right hand technique is really important to mute the strings that we don't want to play. As an example, we're bending on the G string here. My palm on this side of the guitar is resting on the E and the A string. That means that when I play, I've got no danger of these strings being wrung out as well, okay? And in fact, you could even say that I'm muting the D string a little bit as well, but it's quite hard to actually mute the D string and the string next to it. So experiment and see how you get on with it, but I think that's a really good tip to get clean sounding bends. Strength when we're bending is a really good thing to talk about. If I asked you to do a bend with just one finger like this, if you're not very practiced, it can be quite difficult. You're doing quite a lot there. You're forcing the string up with one of your fingers, and one of your fingers are quite weak. Why not use multiple fingers? Instead of using all three fingers on one fret, like this, okay, a better technique is to spread the load. If you think about a camel's feet in the desert, they spread out. It's the surface area. It's the same thing here. If you put your fingers on fret 5, 6, and 7, that will give you more strength. It will give you more strength to push up the string. And remember that this finger is the important one to stay in line with the fret. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope that you're enjoying the channel so far. Please do like and subscribe. I really love teaching you guys, and it helps me to stay motivated to make more videos for you. And if you need any more help, just drop a comment. I'll be happy to help.